Okay, is my screen visible to you? So since the tables are already available with us, the story table and writer table, writer is the parent table, story is the child table of that. And this time we wanted to establish this many to one mapping, from story to writer. So earlier in our previous class we did writer to story table mapping we did, which is nothing but one to many, means one writer is able to write multiple stories. So today we wanted to do the reverse job. Multiple stories would be written by one writer, right? So these two tables are already there with us, and we have the Pojo classes as well, right? So both the Pojo classes are there, writer Pojo, story Pojo, and then these two Pojo classes are defined inside Hibernate.cfg.xml so that they will get loaded through that mapping elements. And then we have the Hibernate util class as well with respect to Hibernate 4 as well as Hibernate 5. And then let us do this relationship establishment called @many to one from story Pojo to writer Pojo, and also the join column. So how do we join these two tables, right? So can you please share your screen? We'll try to make this one change in your story Pojo. So let me make Pasha the presenter because those two tables we have created on your machine, right, Pasha? Yeah, I made you the presenter. Okay, go to Eclipse. Okay, it is getting loaded. Let it load. Go to Story Pojo. And inside that Story Pojo, copy this property. We will be declaring one more private property. Okay, after line 20, you can paste it. Press enter and paste it. Okay, press enter. Import them. So from story to writer, we want to establish that relationship. Means many stories will be written by one writer. That would be joined by using a join column name story writer. Yes, javax.persistence. All the annotations are from javax.persistence. Right, save this. And then you can take one more constructor as well here. Copy this constructor at line 34. So we wanted to define a story Pojo object that takes story name followed by the writer, so that who is writing this story will be able to aware of. So altogether 3 constructors are defined. One is the no arc constructor at line 38. 31 line, it is a story Pojo constructor with name, single parameter. Then at line 35 it is a constructor with 2 parameters. Go to the end of the file and generate the getters and setters for that writer property, which will be generating getWriter method and setWriter method. Source, generate getters and setters. Alright, save this. Now, to test this many to one annotation, let us create a separate demo program with main method. Create a new Java class with main method. Name that new Java class as many to one demo. Wait. In the same project, in the same package you can create. So right click on the package always. Yeah, com.training package. Right click on that. New class. Name that new class as many to one demo. Many to one demo. Okay, finish. You can go to your one to many demo, previous class. You copy that session variable from line 13 and paste it before the main method. Okay. Then let us prepare the data inside the main method. Copy all these lines. So let us instantiate writer Pojo object with some writer name. And then let us create some stories like story 1, story 2, story 3. But we are not adding all these things into a set object. This time we want to save the data from story point of view. Means we wanted to establish the relationship many to one, right? So all these stories need to be saved, not the writer object. So earlier as part of one to many demo we said session.save writer, but this time we'll say session.save stories. All the stories we would like to save, right? So copy all these lines of code just below that line 16. So writer 1 is an object and the same writer 1 is writing all these three stories, story 1, story 2, story 3, using the new constructor of the story Pojo object. Press enter and paste it. Yeah, import that org.hibernate.transaction. Import them. Control Shift O you can press org hibernate transaction and org hibernate.hibernate exception. Press Control Shift F. Right. Save this. So here inside the try block you can see that transaction is begin. Then you are saying session.save story 1, session.save story 2, session.save story 3, and then you are committing the transaction. Alright. Save this. Then run this one. Run as Java application. Okay. There you go. So you can observe that first insertion was applied against writer table. Then three inserts are against the story table. So like this, you will be able to insert all that data. Right? You wanted to verify this, whether all this data is inserted into the table or not. So go to your PG admin. So always whether it is one to many or many to one, first it creates the parent record, then it creates the rest of the child records. connect to your database. Just let us verify those two tables now, whether it is displaying the latest data or not. Earlier we know that there is one writer inserted with all those three stories of the same writer. In this time we got created one more writer, second writer he should be, and he also writing all those three stories. MyDB is your database. Go to the public schema, expand that MyDB. Schemas, public, tables, right click on writer, view data, view all rows. It is showing you the sixth record. So writer ID 6 is the new record. Right, so this writer ID 6 should be inserted even in your story table. Means the stories written by this writer ID 6 should be there. So go to story table, right click on story and do the same thing again. View data, view all records. Right, there you go. Story writer 6, last three records are written by story writer 6. Those story IDs are story ID 5, story ID 7, story ID 8, like that it is all creating those rows. Right, does it make sense? So how do we establish the one-to-many relationship? And how do we establish the many-to-one relationship we came across? Any questions? Are you done with your previous class exercise that I was asking you to do that? Anybody? Any luck? Any questions from your previous sessions? Okay, no problem. Let us move on to the next one, which is many-to-many establishment. Okay, so how do we establish the other relationship called many-to-many? Okay, so to do that relationship, we need to create the tables. Close these edit data grids of your PG admin. Okay, here we will be taking two more tables called as event table and speaker table. Let's say there are some events going on, some seminars going on. So all those seminars I would like to create as the rows in event table. Okay, so let us create that table. So open the SQL editor first. Then copy this create table. Control A, run. So it will be creating you a new table called event. Alright. Then I wanted to create one more table called speaker. So this event table, just event ID, event name. Like let's say event ID 1, event ID 2, event ID 3, Oracle seminar, Microsoft seminar, Java seminar, something like that. Right? And in each event there will be some speakers going to participate. Right? And all those speaker details I would like to take it into another table, call it as speaker table. Okay? Speaker ID, speaker name. So in one event, there could be multiple speakers, and at the same time, one speaker can attend multiple events. Let's say a guy who is delivering a lecture on databases, he wanted to participate in Microsoft seminar as well as in Oracle seminar, right? A guy who is talking about the .NET technologies, he is going to attend only Microsoft seminar. And another guy who is talking about some Java frameworks, he is going to attend only Oracle seminar, right? So this way we will be able to say that one event can contain multiple speakers and one speaker can take participation in multiple events. So to capture the data, the combined data of this type of relationship, like one event with multiple speakers or one speaker with multiple events, this is nothing but from both the ends. If you see, it looks like many to many relationship. So this many to many relationship establishment is going to be operated through another table called as event underscore speaker. So copy this third table and create this. So this table is going to store only event IDs and speaker IDs. Okay, you clicked it twice. Okay, close this SQL editor and just go back to your Object Explorer and refresh that. No. Right click on tables and then say refresh. It should be showing you that three new tables got created. Right? Event table, speaker table, and then event underscore speaker table. Fine. So the table creation is done. Now let us create the respective Pojo classes in Eclipse. Come back here into Eclipse and right click on your com.training package, new class, name it as event Pojo. Okay, click finish. Go to your writer Pojo, copy those two annotations @entity @table and bring them on top of your event Pojo.java. Right. Just change the table name. So this event Pojo need to be mapped to event table. Yeah, better to keep all those things in capital letters so that no confusion. Of course, it is not case sensitive. You can keep it in any case. Just for our sake to understand that it is a table name, we are trying to put it in capital letters. Okay. Then copy these two private variables and the two constructors inside your event Pojo class. Private int event ID, private string event name, and then the two constructors. Press Ctrl Shift F, then press enter and generate the getters and setters for these two private properties. Get event ID, set event ID, and then get event name, set event name should be generated. And earlier we used to mention the column mappings on top of the variable declaration. So this time we will be declaring these annotations on top of the getter methods. So copy these three annotations at line 19. Copy these three annotations at line 19. Which is nothing but on top of your get event ID method you are defining these three annotations. Line 19 you can paste. Yeah, press enter and then paste it exactly on top of that. Don't leave the space. Yeah, press Ctrl Shift F, Ctrl Shift O, right. You can copy line 26 and you can bring it onto get event name method. At line 34 you can paste it. And you can change the column name. It should be mapped to which column? Event underscore name column. Alright. So this is the event Pojo. Save this. Then similarly we need to create another Pojo, speaker Pojo. Create a new class. Speaker Pojo. Copy those two annotations, @entity and @table from your previous classes. Right. Change the table name. It should be pointing to speaker table. Then copy these two private variables and the two constructors there inside the class. Generate the getters and setters for those two private properties. And you can copy from your event photo the annotations. Get event ID, on top of that get event ID there are annotations, right? @ID, @generated value, @column. In event Pojo, copy line 24, 25, 26 and paste it on top of get speaker ID. And you can modify the column name as speaker underscore ID. Then copy that line 25 and paste it at line 33. so that it should be mapped to speaker underscore name. Okay, save this class. So both the pojos are ready. So these two pojos should get loaded for us. So go to hibernate.cfg.xml and define the mapping elements there. Hibernate.cfg.xml, can you open that? It is there in your src folder. Hibernate.cfg.xml file. Yeah, open that one, and there we need to define the two mapping elements. Copy line 15 and 16 and paste just below that. Paste them below line 16. Right, com.training.event pojo. Then the next one is speaker pojo. Right, save this. Then let us establish the relationship between these two pojo classes. Many to many annotation I wanted to establish. Right? So go to your event pojo. First we'll try to establish from event pojo point of view, from event pojo to speaker pojo. So go there to event pojo.java and declare this variable at line 16. Copy this line at line 16. Okay, press enter. It should be ampersand LT semicolon, you need to remove it. Private set, delete that ampersand LT semicolon. It should be less than symbol. Semicolon also remove. Remove that semicolon and put less than symbol there. Right. Save that. Import that. Import that. Java.util.set need to be imported. Means one event, multiple speakers I want to define. So that's why I'm trying to declare a private variable there. Go to the end of the file and generate the getters and setters for that speakers property. And on top of your get speakers, you need to add all these annotations. Copy these annotations at line 48. Control Shift F. Save it. And it is many to many annotation we are trying to declare there. And join table annotation we are trying to declare. So where you are trying to join them. So you are trying to join them in a third table, which is event underscore speaker. And how do you want to join them? By using some join columns. So what are those join columns? the join column from the current table is event ID, and the inverse join column, I mean from the other end, it should be the speaker ID. So like this, these are the two things which we are trying to mention there in the join table. So that is how this set object will be establishing the many-to-many relationship from event Pojo to speaker Pojo. Alright, save this. Now let us test this many-to-many association from here. Create a new class with main method. Let's call it as many-to-many demo 1. Many-to-many many-to-many demo 1. I mean number 1. Yep. Click the finish button. Let us prepare the data first. So let us create event Pojo object. Copy all these lines inside the main method. Okay. Import java.util.set java.util.hasset. Right. So here you can see that event Pojo, you are trying to create a new event Pojo called Hibernate seminar, and you are creating a set object and you are instantiating speaker Pojo objects. So two speaker Pojo objects are added to that speaker set, and that speaker set you added to your event by saying event dot set speakers, right? So the data is ready now. Now what I want to do is I just wanted to perform these two operations. So copy these three lines after line 14. Press enter, enter after line 14 and take these three lines. Press Ctrl Shift F. So we are trying to define two new methods. So first thing, I want to save the above event data, and then I want to get the data back based on the given ID. So create those two methods. Keep the cursor there on save event data and choose that suggestion. Then do the same thing for your get event data also. Create that method. Okay, so these are the two new methods which are created there as the private methods. So first let us save the data. Okay. So once the data is saved, it is going to generate an event ID for you, and that event ID we will be utilizing to retrieve the data when we are going to say that get event data. Let's copy these lines of code inside your save event. Remove that return null, my friend. Line 27, line 28, delete them. When you are writing some lines of code, their to do is not at all required. Press Ctrl Shift F. Then press Ctrl Shift O. Let us import org.hibernate.session, org.hibernate.transaction, org.hibernate.hibernate.exception, all of them. So earlier we used to define that session variable outside the main method. This time we wanted to use it within the method, so that because here we are trying to write two methods. So I wanted to create that session variable in save event data as well as in get event data. And once my job is done inside the finally block, I can close that session. So that's why at line 33 I'm creating a session object, then defining transaction object, event ID object, then inside the try block we said begin transaction. Then we are invoking session.save method. So what is that you wanted to save? You wanted to save your event. So once the event gets saved, whatever the primary key value that got generated for that, that will be returned into your event ID variable. Then at the end of that method, you are returning that event ID. In case of exception, roll back the transaction and inside the finally block, closing that session. Right? So now finally you got ID. And that ID you are passing it on to the get event data method. Right? So using your get event data, you need to do the data retrieval of that event POJO. This is what actually I asked you to write it, to do the data retrieval of writer. If I pass any ID of a writer, it should be able to pull the data of that writer along with all the stories written by him. So same thing, this time we are passing the event ID and we are trying to pull that event details along with the speakers who are attending that event. Right, so let's copy these lines of code inside the get event data method. Okay, here you can see that inside the get event data you can bring those lines of code. So once again you are creating the session variable and this time you are trying to pull the data by using session.get method. So when you say session.get event pojo.class comma id, so based on that given id it is going to return you that. It is going to return you that particular event. If it is not equal to null, then we will be printing you those details like get event.get event name, and also event.get speakers is going to return you the set of speakers and loop through that set and then print each speaker name there. Right? If it is not able to retrieve any data, then it will be displaying you no event is existing with this ID. Right? Save this and try to run this. Right? So here you can observe the insert statements. 5 insert statements got executed. Insert into event. The very first thing that got inserted is against event. Then insert into speaker, insert into speaker. Means 2 insertions happened against speaker. Then this common data, I mean both the data of event table and speaker table should be there in the third table to establish this many to many relationship. So it is inserting into event underscore speaker. So know where you are creating any of these insert statements. So all that is the Hibernate generated queries during the runtime, and they did all those insertions for you, and they are trying to execute that get event data based on the given ID. So a select statement got executed there and it has returned you event.get event's name called as Hibernate seminar. And when it says event.get speakers, it is executing one more select statement to do the data retrieval of the set of speaker pojos. That's how all the data is returned to you. So that is how you are able to retrieve the data by using get event data method. You can verify all those three tables in your PG admin. You can go to PG admin, right click on your event table, event table, view data, view all rows. So you can see that there is only one row whose event ID is 9. Okay, remember that ID. Then go to speaker table, right click on that speaker table and then say view data, view all rows. So there should be two speakers. IDs are 10 and 11. So this joining data should be there in the join table called event underscore speaker. So right click on that event underscore speaker which is joining these two tables data using the respective primary key columns of both the tables. So there should be event ID 9 mapped with speaker ID 10. Again the event ID 9 mapped with the speaker ID 11. So this way it is trying to show you the join data of both of those tables. Clear? Any questions? So what we did just now is we just executed the many-to-many establishment from event Pojo to speaker Pojo. Clear? Now the same job I want you to do from speaker Pojo to event Pojo. Can you do that one? So to do so, what do we need to do? From speaker Pojo to event Pojo. First of all, before going there, is there any doubt? Is this clear so far, whatever we did? If this is clear, then you can proceed further. Is this clear? Okay, assuming that it is clear. So now go to speaker Pojo, and from speaker Pojo to event Pojo, I want you to establish the many-to-many relationship. So what do we need to do? We need to have a private variable there. So one speaker is going to attend multiple events, right? So declare one set variable there. Copy this variable at line 15 and then generate the getters and setters for this events variable. Did you fix the error first? Where is the error? Error is not there on line 17. It is there at line 16. Ampersand LT symbol need to be replaced with less than symbol. Ampersand LT semicolon need to be replaced with that one. After that you need to import that java.util.set and then you can generate the getter and setter for that. Press Ctrl Shift F. Copy those annotations. Same annotations needed from Event Pojo. Go to Event Pojo. Those annotations are already there, Baba. We need to have the many to many annotations. For what purpose we added this events variable? We added this events variable to bring that many to many association from speaker Pojo to we are trying to establish the many to many relationship from speaker Pojo to event Pojo. So we need to have the same annotations whatever we did earlier in event Pojo. So go and get those many to many at the rate join table, those annotations here. Copy line 52, 53, 54. Where do you need to keep those annotations in speaker Pojo? On top of your get events method, you need to keep that. At line 46, you can paste. Right. And join table is same. Event underscore speaker. But join columns should be different. So join column name should be speaker ID because from speaker Pojo you are trying to establish. So remove that. It should be speaker ID. And inverse join column means from the other end. So on the other end it should be the event ID. Means the second table. That should be event ID. Save that. So this is how you will be able to establish that many to many association from speaker Pojo entity to that one. Now create a new class called as many to many demo2.java. No, no, no. What are you doing? Main method is needed. Class name should be .java, no. It will create you that Java file. You are blindly following my instructions. No, no. At the beginning of every course, people, I mean especially students and your sponsors, all you guys are asking for daily exercises, all that. But a single alteration I used to ask for the students, not sure why they don't do. Maybe there will be n number of reasons, like they could not find the time, they could not accommodate the time, all that. I mean, this is not the story with you guys. It is the story for the past 3-4 years. I'm doing these online trainings. So same thing. But during the very first day when I'm giving the demonstration, no, everyone is pretty eager. How come you are not giving any exercises? No, it's not good. So give some exercises. My students are very eager. They are pretty faster. No student is pretty faster. All that is, while talking at the day one, it all looks very pretty sound. But by the time as the course is progressing, like no one is doing any exercise, no one is going to visit the set of URLs that are kept at the end of every presentation. The reason till today I could not crack the reason. Yeah, I pasted the lines of code, get those lines of code and generate those methods, save speaker data, get speaker data, do the same job whatever you did. And I am not going to provide you that save speaker data and get speaker data. Try to write it on your own. Let's see how much you can write. Many to many demo2.java. Can you go there? So we are preparing the speaker pojo object and a set of events we are instantiating there and adding those events. Microsoft Seminar, Oracle Seminar are the two events added there, and we are saying speaker.set events, and we are trying to create those two methods. Okay, so inside your save speaker data, what do you need to write? Go to your save event data and get all those things, or you want me to paste it? Okay, I paste it. So what is that we are trying to do here? We are creating a session, we are defining the session, transaction, all that. What we are doing is we are just trying to say session.save speaker. So speaker object will be saved. Then to get back that speaker data, instead of saying session.get speaker ID, I mean earlier we said session.get method we need to use. Copy this inside your get speaker data, press Ctrl Shift F and then run it. Right? So one speaker is attending two seminars. So those two seminars are listed there. You can also verify those records. Okay, we'll stop here for now. I got some other meeting now.